Good morning again. Welcome to the Fire Burns Within channel. Time for another one of these one underrated song per album, and this time I'm wearing the shirt. It's Running Wild, the German heavy power metal band with a long history. 16 albums in total. We're going to go through them very quickly, not too much talk this time. One underrated song, and then at the end a couple of honourable mentions, and then at the end I'm going to give you a quick ranking as well of all the Running Wild albums. Okay, starting with the debut, Gates to Purgatory. The song I'm picking out here is Genghis Khan. It's a good song. The other song I want to mention is Walpurgis Night. It's a bonus track actually for this album, but it's a good one as well. Next album is Branded and Exiled. The song I want to pick out is Chains and Leather, which is a sort of like a mid-paced anthem. It's like a homage to Judas Priest, I think. The other song to mention is Mordor. That's a good song as well. Next album, Under Jolly Roger. This is like when Running Wild is proper going into pirate mode. The song I want to mention is Diamonds of the Black Chest. Very cool song, very typical of Running Wild, you know, treasure, loot, etc. The other two songs to mention are the title track Under Jolly Roger and Raise Your Fist. Both very good anthems. I mean, Under Jolly Roger every Running Wild fan loves already, so it doesn't barely need a mention. Next album is Port Royal. The song I want to mention is Calico Jack. It's the last song on the album at 8 minutes. It's a bit of an epic. It's got a lot of twists and turns. This is the first time I think Rock and Rolf is dabbling in writing epics, so it's a great song, well worth mention here. The other two songs are Conquistadors and Blown to Kingdom Come, which are both, Conquistadors is very well loved as a Running Wild song. Blown to Kingdom Come less so, but both deserve a mention, especially Conquistadors. Next album, Death or Glory. Yeah, it's an awesome album, but more of that later. The song to mention here is Tortuga Bay. It's a very catchy, fast song, very cool riffs, awesome. There's three more songs I want to mention from Death or Glory. First is Highland Glory, the instrumental, that's awesome. Bad to the Bone, all Running Wild fans love that song. And Battle of Waterloo, again an awesome song, epic. But Bad to the Bone is obviously well loved, so not underrated, I think. Not by Running Wild fans anyway. Next album is Blazing Stone. The song I want to mention here is Bloody Red Rose. I think that's a really cool song. Very underrated actually, that one. The other two to mention are Little Big Horn and Fire and Ice, and also the track Lone Wolf. Three to mention there. Little Big Horn is very catchy, but Bloody Red Rose is the one that I'm underrating most on Blazing Stone. Next album is Pile of Skulls. The song I'm most focused on here is Jennings Revenge. I think that's a really cool song, galloping, typical Running Wild styled power metal really. The other two songs to mention are Lead or Gold and Fistful of Dynamite. Both bangers, you know, both like pounders if you like, not so speed fixated. The next album is Black Hand Inn. It's one of their best, it's a classic. The song I want to mention here is The Phantom of Black Hand Hill. I think that's an awesome song. It's a speedy song, you know. It's one of those pedal to the metal type songs, but very catchy vocal lines from Rolf. Just very catchy song. I mean, very underrated I think in their discography. The other two songs I want to mention are Solace, which is a sort of speedy, catchy rocker. The kind of song that Rock and Rolf would do in his sleep, I think. And the other song is Genesis, the epic of the album. I think it's about 13-14 minutes long. That's a really cool song as well. It's like, you know, when Running Wild or Rock and Roll, he always does one epic per album, and they're mostly pretty good. So Genesis, very good, but The Phantom of Blackhand Hill, that's an awesome song. That's really awesome. Right, the next album is Masquerade. This is like a very mid-period album. The song I like here most is Rebel at Heart. Well, not most, but the most underrated is Rebel at Heart. I think that's an awesome song. That's really sort of like, it's a straight ahead rocker. Great chorus on that one again. I mean, Rock and Roll, if he can write a chorus, that guy, he'll write a catchy chorus like in his sleep. The other two songs to mention are Lions of the Sea and Soleil Royale, but both awesome, I mean, Masquerade is a great album all round. I love Masquerade, I love the sounds, but Rebel at Heart, very underrated. And the other two songs I mentioned, Lions of the Sea, Soleil Royale, very cool. And there's other cool ones on there as well. The title track, Masquerade, is awesome. The next album is The Rivalry, which was actually the first Running Wild album I ever heard. I didn't really hear them before this time, so I heard The Rivalry, and then I worked my way backwards, going through their discography. The song I like from The Rivalry, and I've always loved it, is Ballad of William Kidd. It is just an awesome song. I think it's in the top 5 best Running Wild songs of all time. I just love that song. I mean, I'd say it's underrated for me because I don't hear too many people talking about it. Well, I don't hear people talk about Running Wild in general, but anyway. But I mean, I love The Rivalry. It's an awesome album, and there's so many awesome songs on it. The other two I want to mention are Adventure Galley, which is a very speedy pirate metal song, and the song War and Peace, which is the last track on the album. Again, it's an epic on Russian tales. You know the story of the book War and Peace, so it's loosely based on that. It's got great music on that song as well, War and Peace, great riffs. But Ballad of William Kidd is where it's at. That is just an awesome song. I mean, I love that song to death. I could listen to that all day. The next album is called Victory, and yeah, this is when Rock and Roll is sort of almost turning the band into a solo band. It's not so much of a band anymore, which is a little disappointing. I mean, he's getting on a bit, so he's doing things his own way, I think. So he's not so much a band. I think, pretty sure that from now on, I mean, this is a big bone of contention, but pretty sure that from Victory onwards, there's a drum machine on every album, or if it's not programmed drums, it's someone hitting electric drums or something like that. It's not full on drum kit, spending less money creating albums, etc. But there's still some good albums to come. Anyway, the next album is Victory. The song I like is Tsar. Again, another Russian theme song. He likes to go to Russia for get a bit of inspiration for various songs. I mean, Tsar is a very good song. It's got great riffs. I love that song. The other song from Victory that I want to mention is Into the Fire. I think that's a pretty good song as well. I enjoy that song. It's a speedier song, as the title might suggest. But Tsar is a good song. There's a couple of other good songs on Victory as well. The Guardian is good. The Hussar is good as well. Next album is The Brotherhood. We're going towards the later period now, or his retirement period, I call it. The song I want to mention here is The Ghost, the final track. It's an epic song based on the life of Lawrence of Arabia. I think that's an awesome song. The riffs are really catchy, the pace is awesome, the vocal lines are very catchy. It's got a great break in the middle. I think it's a great song. I mean, I think that one's very underrated in the discography as a song. The album as a whole is It's good. It's okay. It's sort of like a little bit more hard rock, a little bit more pounding, but The Ghost, awesome. The other song to mention is Detonator, which is a cool song. It's like a little song about, I think it's about pyrotechnics and something like that, basically, or dynamite or something like that. I'm not sure, judging by the title. But it's a good little pounding song. But the Ghost is just awesome. I love The Ghost. Next album is Rogues on Vogue, which is basically the last album of Running Wild's career before the return. So he was supposed to retire after this. This wasn't a great album. It was okay. There's some good songs on it. The song that stood out for me was Black Gold. I think that's a really cool song. It's a typical Running Wild song. It's like a mid-tempo stomping song. It's got a great chorus as well. The other song I like here is Born Bad, Dying Worse, which is quite a mid-paced to slow song even, but the guitar line is very melodic. It's really catchy. The chorus is pretty catchy as well. So Rogues on Vogue was a slight damp squib of an album to go out on, but anyway, rock and roll, he was tired by then of music, I think. But he came back. I think it's about 6 or 7 years later. 7 years later, he thought, okay, I've got the urge to write some new music. And he came back with Shadowmaker. Now, Shadowmaker it's an okay album. It's just something about it not quite right. It's a bit mundane, but there's some good songs on it. The song that I like most, well, I want to talk most about is Sailing Fire. I think that's a really good song. It's quite a typical Running Wild song. The other two songs I want to mention are Rising on the Tide, which was the single. It's a good mid-paced Running Wild song, and Locomotive is quite a good song as well. The next album is Resilient, which is a step into a better direction after Shadowmaker, the original comeback. Resilient is more classic Running Wild. It's slightly better produced, and it's a much better album. I quite like Resilient. The song I want to mention is Bloody Island, the epic again on the album. It's the last song. He always puts the last song as the epic of every album. So Bloody Island is a very good song. It's long. I think it's about 12-13 minutes long, if I'm not wrong. Well, I could be wrong. It could be under 10, but it's a wicked song. I mean, it's pretty underrated in their catalogue. The other song I want to mention is Adventure Highway, which is another good song, good speedier song. Finally, we reached the most recent Running Wild album, which is quite a long time ago now. I think it's 2016 it came out, Rapid Foray. So I don't know what's happened to Rock and Rolf in the meantime. He's gone into hiding again. But Rapid Foray was really good. I think it was slightly better than Resilient even. The song I want to mention here is Into the West. I think that's a really catchy song. It's got great riffs. Very cool. And the second song to mention is Black Bart, a typical pirate fixated Running Wild song. I mean, he does these in his sleep. It's so awesome. So I like Rapid Foray. I think Rapid Foray is a real good return to form for Running Wild. So there you have it. Those are the full countdown of the underrated songs of Running Wild. Quick countdown: Genghis Khan, Chains and Leather, Diamonds of the Black Chest, Calico Jack, Tortuga Bay, Bloody Red Rose, Jennings Revenge, Phantom of Blackhand Hill, Rebel at Heart, Ballad of William Kidd, Czar, The Ghost, Black Gold, Sailing Fire, Bloody Island, and Into the West. And now, quickly, we're going to do a Running Wild rankings. Starting with their 16th, in 16th place, Gates to Purgatory. That's going to get me in a lot of trouble with Running Wild fans. Putting their debut last, but I'm sorry, I don't know. it's just too raw for me. It's good, but I don't know, it's a bit raw. Number 15, Shadowmaker, the comeback album. It's okay. It's not terrible, but it's missing something. 14, Branded and Exiled, the second album. It's okay. It's good. It's a little bit more polished, but still raw, too raw for me. Number 13, Rogues on Vogue, the final album of the original period of Running Wild. It could possibly be even below this, but it's fairly close at the bottom there. Number 12 is Resilient. It's good. I like Resilient. Number 11, Under Jolly Roger. Again, it's good. It's when Running Wild is doing proper pirate metal now, but it's still a bit raw for my taste, but the songs are really good. Number 10 is The Brotherhood. Yeah, I like The Brotherhood. A lot of people don't like that period of Running Wild, but I think it's okay. Number 9 is Rapid Foray, the most recent Running Wild. I think it's really good. Very good album. Number 8, Victory. It's okay. Again, it's very good. I mean, I think this was the first time with the drum machine. It wasn't like that bad like some people said. I think it's pretty enjoyable. Number 7 is Port Royal. Yeah, full swing pirate metal, very good album. Number 6, Masquerade, very good album. Number 5, Blazing Stone, again, very good. Number 4, Pile of Skulls, awesome. Everything is awesome from I think from Port Royal down, number 7, everything is pretty much awesome. Number 4 is Pile of Skulls. Number 3 is Black Hand Inn, awesome. Number 2 is The Rivalry, which is my absolute fave. And the number 1 is Death or Glory. I think between Death or Glory and The Rivalry and Black Hand Inn, any 3 of them could be number 1 on any given time. But on this particular occasion, I went for Death or Glory, but because it's slightly more classic and the production is really sharp and clean. Especially on the remaster that I've got, it's really good. But The Rivalry, which was my first Running Wild album, it's still an album which I absolutely love. I think it's awesome. But Black Hand Inn, Pile of Skulls, Blazing Stone, all of them are just like almost equals of each other. Masquerade, they're all like really close to one another, so it's hard to pick between them. Okay, there you have it. This is the full Running Wild underrated songs rankings video. Hope you enjoyed that, and stay wild.